Welcome back to Living the Wiccan Life. In just a moment, we'll bring you my interview with Selena Fox. But first, a word about pack rats. I am a pack rat. My friends and family constantly tell me, "You are a pack rat," and they are right. One of the consequences, however, of my being a pack rat is that our library here in Rossville has one of the most extensive collections of pagan periodicals from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s that you will find anywhere. And of course, no such collection would be complete without Circle Network News. I'm pleased to say that this is the oldest copy of Circle Network News in our collection. It is Volume 2, Issue 1, from spring of 1980. I still remember what a wonderful thing it was to find this publication, and how it opened the pagan world to us in many ways. It was very exciting, and every issue was a treasure trove of information. I'm also very pleased to show you this issue, spring of 1985, which contains the first example of Circle's publication of any of my work. Circle has been a big part of my life, and I would like to thank Selena Fox for having created it. And now, on to our interview.
Circle Sanctuary, the Lady Liberty League, the Order of the Pinnacle, and all of the various people we've been working with for the Pinnacle Quest, in appreciation for you and everyone connected with you. We give you this Pinnacle badge and thank you for all your support.
Thank you very much. It's very unexpected, and thank you very much.
A little surprise, right? Okay.
Surprises are good.
Okay.
So, where to begin? There are so many things. I want to say that you are very passionate in the ritual this morning, which is not unusual. But so that people watching know that you were speaking about the Pinnacle Campaign and the importance of freedom and Lady Liberty. And in the ritual, you invoked the Goddess Liberty.
That's it. That be her.
Yeah. And I think, actually, I'm motivated to ask you first to perhaps speak about the Goddess Liberty for just a moment. And then we'll talk about the actual campaign and how it's come about.
And should I be looking at you or looking at the camera, or what do you want me to do? Okay. So Lady Liberty, who is a symbol of freedom for so many people, actually began her journey as Libertas, the ancient Roman virtue and goddess of freedom. The form that Lady Liberty often takes in America is based on the Statue of Liberty, which in turn is based on some ancient Roman imagery. The sun disk around her head, the robes are right out of Greco-Roman times, and the torch is something also anciently connected with Libertas. I've been honoring Libertas since I was a young girl and visited that Statue of Liberty and studied ancient Roman religion as part of my classics studies. And I truly think that Lady Liberty and Lady Justice and the spirit of American freedom, all of which I have represented here, were part of how we came to win the Veteran Pinnacle Quest. Don't get me wrong, there were many people who were involved in this. Americans United for Separation of Church and State, which provided us free legal assistance and other support, was very instrumental in helping this be done. But there were many different groups involved, and the Correllians are among those groups. Aquarian Tabernacle Church, and we had the support of Covenant Unitarian Universalist Pagans, Covenant of the Goddess, Sacred Well Congregation, the Pagan Pride Project, and others issued public statements, letters of support, and it is fabulous that at last we have the Pinnacle on the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs list of emblems of belief that can be included on the veteran gravestones that it issues. And the gravestones have started manifesting. There are 4 of them right now at Circle Sanctuary. 3 of them are already placed in our cemetery, and another will be as soon as the widow gets a chance to return to Wisconsin and be part of that ceremony. There are now 3 pinnacle markers at Arlington National Cemetery, and there's at least 2 other ones at other parts of the country that have already manifested. So I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for all your support, your prayers, your contributions, your networking, and all the other things that you've done.
I'm sure that everyone would like to thank you for everything you have done, because you have been working your heart out over this, and for a long time now.
Yeah, it was a 10-year struggle.
Yeah.
We got intensely involved a little more than 2 years ago, and it pretty much became my full-time job for 17 months.
And even though the battle has been won, it's not really over for you either, because now you have all kinds of work in getting these things organized and helping people to claim this right.
That's
as you
correct.
were saying earlier.
That's correct. It's helping people get their orders in for the markers, and now that's on the list, actually a lot of people are just going ahead and filling out the forms and getting it done themselves, so that's really good. But there are some special issues with some of the requests, and I'm continuing to provide some support for those families. And I also see that this is a step towards full equality in American society. We aren't quite there yet.
No, but we're way closer than we used to be.
Definitely.
If someone was from a family that needed help getting a headstone, how would they contact you?
They should contact Selena at circlesanctuary.org or write Selena Fox, Circle Sanctuary, P.O. Box 9, Barneveld, Wisconsin 53507, or give us a call 608-924-2216.
I want to talk about a slightly different subject now. I'm going to hold up this copy of Circle Network News. And how long have you been publishing Circle?
30 years.
It's a long time.
It is.
And in those 30 years, you've seen a lot of things change.
Absolutely.
And you were saying that, you know, we're not really fully equal yet, but boy, have we come a long way.
We have definitely come a long way. And the magazine itself started as an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And then it moved to a tabloid newspaper form for a number of years, and then in the early 90s it went into magazine form, and we also have things on the web.
Yeah.
And like paganism itself, there's continuing to be growth and change.
Oh, yes.
One thing that really hasn't changed over the years is the fact that our work and the need to have people network together and communicate has very much part of the mix.
One thing I think most people do not realize, unless they've been around for 30 years, is how important Circle was to the Midwest. And today a lot of people do not realize what our community was like before the internet. But Circle really was so important for getting people to communicate with each other, to know that different groups were here. And that just was a tremendous service to our community.
Well, thank you.
I want you to know that many people do remember that, even though some of the younger ones may not know. And just a very important thing. What do you think is the most important next step toward greater equality for our people?
I truly think we need to get a military chaplain, and not only to provide the support for those who are in the military and the knowledge that people who are Wiccan and Pagan can serve right next to those chaplains who are from other traditions. But it's another message of inclusion and full equality. I also think that we need to have more pagans involved in a whole range of society and to be visible about it. There's still a lot of people in different parts of the country and the world that are not able to fully disclose that they're pagan to neighbors and co-workers for fear of harassment or misunderstanding. And so we still have some ways to go before we achieve full equality in that way. I would like somebody to be able to run for public office, for example, and it not be an issue if it's made known that they're pagan, including the President of the United States. Think we're ready for a pagan president?
I'm ready.
When I was at the rally Pagan Religious Freedom Rally in front of the White House on July 4th, I called for that and said, yes, someday we might be able to have a pagan in the White House, and I would like people to be able to run for public office and not to have paganism be an issue, including to the highest office of the land. There's an interreligious discussion panel online. A number of people weighed in on that comment. There must have been someone who was listening, and some were not real supportive of that, but many people were, and recognizing that yes, we need to have full equality in society.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And it's about time we get more of it.
Yeah. It amazes me how some of our people don't understand how important that is, and they seem to be more interested in hiding or pulling off into a subculture rather than being part of the main culture. But one thing that you and Circle have always stood for really is the normalcy of our religion and our movement, and I think that's very important. And it doesn't diminish our specialness at all. No,
and I recognize not everybody's path is to be out in the public eye, to run for public office, to serve on public committees, which is something that I've done over the years and continue to do. That isn't everyone's lot in life.
But what wonderful that they can.
That's right, and I hope that those who choose to be more private or in subgroupings as part of their spiritual practice will recognize the important role of those who are called to serve in that way is playing for our larger freedom and in society. And I certainly hope that no matter what one's pagan path is, that we can find ways to communicate with each other respectfully, to collaborate, and not only work on pagan rights, but work for better understanding of people from many different walks of life and cultures, and to work for a healthier planet, to be part of this greater web of life, and to find ways to collaborate with others to sustain that life.
Thank you very much, and I know I said I had only one more, but you're too good to let go that quick. I have one more question for you. You have been fighting so hard for civil rights here in this country. At this time in South Africa, they're facing some major civil rights challenges. Wiccan and other pagan people there. And I was wondering if you would have any advice for them on how to handle this.
I actually have been working with people from South Africa now for a number of months, ever since it came to my attention that there's some legislation that's in the works that would not be good for Wiccans and other pagan practitioners. So one of the things that I think is very important is not only the networking internationally, but also to basically link up with allies in other religions, allies who are in political office. I just received an email not too long ago with some good news, that it seems that legislation is stalled out for the time being, and I plan on getting some more information in a short while and continue my work with that. I think that paganism not only needs its freedom in America, but it needs its freedom around the world. And one of the things that has recently happened is that BBC World News carried a segment on paganism and the craft. And I am very happy that that not only aired in this country, but in a number of different forums throughout Europe and around the world. And I'm glad there's a little snippet of it right up at the BBC TV website. Yes, why do I know about it? Because I helped with it. There is some footage of the dedication ceremony of a pinnacle marker at Arlington National Cemetery on the 4th of July. There's also some footage of our Green Spirit Festival, the Green World Healing Ritual that we did, and some interviews with various people, depending on which version of the report that you see. And I actually think it's significant that the BBC decided to cover paganism and the fact that the Wiccan emblem of belief, the pinnacle, was acknowledged by the U.S. government, because by putting that out to the world, it's letting people know that this country has had a success. Yeah. And I have heard from pagans from other countries who have been very excited about the success and very excited about the coverage, because it's putting it out to international media, and the BBC is a fairly respectable media outlet, and a lot of people look at it for getting balanced news. So I'm very happy that we've been able to achieve that, and I hope more of those in South Africa and other countries can take hope from the fact that pagan freedom is on the rise, and that we can work together and support each other in that effort.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and it's been great connecting with you.
It's wonderful to see you again, always.
Yes, and good to connect.
Yes, thank you.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. I hope that you enjoyed our interview, and I hope that you enjoyed our program, and that you will join us again next week for another episode of Living the Wiccan Life. Next week, we head to Chicago for the annual Fellowship of Isis Goddess Festival, and we will bring you interviews with more interesting people, including the Honorable Olivia Robertson. Thank you, and may you blessed be.